This is SoIN.
This is SoIN.
This is SoIN. This is SoIN.
This is SoIN. Welcome everyone to another edition of Explore with Extol. If you don't know me already, my name is Colin Wood. Today I'm going to be showing you around Clarksville's very own Strike and Spare. So we're going to be striking and sparing, and not just the bowling alley over here. We're also going to be taking a trip over to the arcade, and then stick around because I'm going to give you a glimpse at their amazing roller skating rink. So let's go get into it. I don't know what to do, guys. I can't find a worthy competition for my bowling skills. Maybe I should just go home or something. Wait a second. Is that Lucas?
Not half bad. Let me give my honest opinion. Tune in until next time. I'm just gonna finish this burger. Oh my! It's Colin Wood. I gotta go. I think I'm gonna bowl with this guy. What are you doing here?
I came here to Strike and Spare trying to find a competitor that's worthy of competing against me.
Really? Well, I'm actually the greatest bowler around town, so you're in good hands.
Huh, you don't say. Sounds like a perfect match.
Sure.
So, we bowled and got a little bored of it.
Yep, as you see, we got all strikes, so I think we're gonna move on to something else here.
But Lucas, there's so much stuff here. How are we gonna be able to do it all?
Yeah, you're right. I'll tell you what, we'll split up. I take two things, you take two things. Let's do it.
Laser tag. Roller skating. Bumper cars. Arcade. As you can tell, we had a blast at Strike and Spare here in Clarksville. Tune in next time for when we explore our next adventure here at Explore with Extol.
My name is Bert Hodge. I'm the general manager of Heritage Ford. When I was a child, I stuttered and was dyslexic. I started my career assigned to a junior position on a destroyer, and ultimately I commanded 5 ships. 2 minesweepers, 2 frigates, a SEAL commando ship. I got a lot of exposure to some of the world's greatest leaders. When I retired from the Navy, it was with the intent to join my father here at the dealership. My dad has been an important part of this community for 30 years.
The business has changed tremendously since then.
but our moral values have remained the same.
This is a business where honor and integrity matter.
If I'm fair to my customers, they'll come back. If I'm fair to myself, I'll be here when they come back.
I'm proud to have served my country, and I'm proud to sell Fords to my community.
July 1st, 2017. Dave, walk through what that looked like. What do you remember?
It was a typical Saturday morning for me training. It had rained the night before, so my friends and I were texting each other on road conditions at our house. You know, are your roads dry? Are your roads dry? We determined it was dry enough, and we were going to meet at a friend's house. He and his wife, another friend of mine that I trained with almost every day, we were going to meet and ride the hills of southern Indiana. And once we got up there and took off, it was just a normal ride. Having fun, talking, you know, solving the world's problems. And it's very hilly up there, so it is challenging, but it's fun. And we got to one intersection and we stopped, and our friends who were more familiar with the area said, if we go right, we'll add about 6 miles to the ride. If we go left, we'll be home in 20 minutes. We decided to go left to end the ride early. It was going to be about 30 miles. You know, turning on to Chapel Hill Road, my friend said, last hill, make it count. And we all went down on our gears and started going. My friend was ahead of me. I was second in the line. The road is about a 90-degree right turn at the bottom of the hill. He was in front of me. And then I saw a white SUV coming opposite direction. And I remember telling myself, they're going to be upset because I'm going to sideswipe them. I was getting on my brakes pretty hard, and right about that time, the road was tree covered, so the road was wet, and it was slick. And on your brakes that hard, my bike started to go out from under me. I remember looking up and seeing the trees. And then the next thing I remember were my friends asking if I was conscious. And I said, yeah, I'm here, you know. And they were very surprised that I was awake. And I just kept asking them how I was laying in the road. I couldn't feel whether I was on my back, my side. I didn't know. I could see my hand laying in the road, but it was like it wasn't my hand because I tried to move it and I couldn't. I could see blood coming, I guess it was off my nose, but I could see it running down to the road, so I knew I was on my side, but I couldn't feel the rest of my body. They just kept saying, just don't move. Just don't move. Seemed like it took forever for the ambulance to get there. They put me on a backboard and started, they did a little check when I got in the ambulance, and I couldn't feel anything from about my mid-chest down.
In your book, you really detail a lot about the physical aspect, as well as the mental, the emotional, but as succinctly as you can, what did you learn had happened to you physically?
I was never really told paralyzed. My wife and I and the kids were basically being educated on this is your new normal. Being in a chair, being lifted around with the Hoyer lift, just constant need of care. That was going to be the new normal. And I had it in my mind that I'm going to fight it. And we're going to fight it.
Now, quadriplegic.
Yes.
Most people will consider that paralyzed from the neck down.
Mm-hmm.
You did not have to have a ventilator
No.
for breathing, and so what would the term be then? Partial?
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
My injury is incomplete. A complete injury is when the spinal cord is severed. Mine, the best way I can explain it is a smashed banana. Signals from my brain through my spinal cord are getting through, not very fast, and some get through, but the return message doesn't get back. And that's what causes, they call it spasticity, which you can see is in my hands.
Were you able to lift your arms at all post-accident?
No.
July 1st, 2017?
No. People would come to the hospital and they'd grab my hand to hold my hand. And I would ask them, I couldn't feel it. So I would ask them to touch my shoulders.
Because you could feel.
Because I could feel. Or my head, you know. And that's the only place I could feel was my shoulder or my head. And then as the days went on, Stacy and the kids noticed my toes wiggling. And that's what turned the lights on for everybody in the hospital, that he's an incomplete. And that's when the push was to get me moving.
Let's talk about someone you really love. Let's talk about your wife. Talk about Stacy. What's the first thing that you said to her after the accident?
I'm sorry.
What did she say back?
It's okay. We're gonna make it. And she's the toughest person I know. Strongest person I know.
When you said your wedding vows, did you ever envision?
No, but she is in the dictionary, she should be the person for better, for worse. Because she got the for worse, and she's right here beside me.
Why did you decide to write Ironclad Journey?
People in our circle of friends, they said that Stacy and I had a great story, either from me in the accident or how she has stuck with me through this horrible accident, and that we're overcoming this together. And we both, they said it's an inspiration. And some people don't, in my situation, don't like that word. They don't want to be an inspiration. But I've taken it as a positive. And if I can inspire somebody, just one person, it's worth it.
It's a fast read, except that you want to keep going back, which is what I did. It's, I was immersed in this. Like I said, I wrote in it, star certain things. I cried. I laughed. You're funny, Dave. You're really funny. But I also, again, going back to, the struggles that people are experiencing right now. You lift people with this.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to do.
I am Adam Christian, the owner and operator of Adam Paul Salon. Adam Paul Salon is a full-service salon, men's hair, women's hair, coming soon are hair replacement services. But we're also much more than that. I've got 12 years experience working in high-end salons that felt cold, felt clinical, and creating my own space was able to add some warmth, add some color, add some fun. Being a part of Bolt & Tie was absolutely the only choice. Being surrounded by all these different types of businesses is really inspiring, and it really kind of lights a fire under everybody else, and there's no competition, but it also creates community. I want to have a partnership, not just an employee relationship with anyone that we decide to bring on. You know, we can work together to meet our own personal goals while working with the goals of the business. Other than just clients, we're also going to be interested in talking with stylists who are interested in a smaller salon setting and maybe an environment like I've created here at Bolt & Tie. So if that's you, reach out and we can connect. I'm Adam Christian of Adam Pulse Salon, and we are excited about our new space.
So James, tell me about the concept. Where did you come up with Harry's Tap House?
So, you know, Harry's Tap House and Kitchen originated early last year in January. My partner, Tony Revac, which I met back in 2000 down at Buckhead's Mountain Grill. I met
him there too.
I think a lot of people know that place. You know, I was a server, he was a bartender, and you know, we stayed friends for the last 20 years, and it came time to, he wanted to do his own thing, and he reached out to me and said, you know, we need a little bit of help, and would have been open right in time for March Madness in 2020, but unfortunately COVID hit and shut everything down. So we went back to the drawing board, fixed a couple things, got it ready, and then we officially opened on May 13th of 2020.
And now I've got this delicious cuisine in front of me that I cannot wait to dive into. I can't believe I got to talk about it before I get to eat.
So we kind of paired the heart attack burger with our bourbon salmon. So we went a little bit of healthy and, well, not so healthy, unfortunately. So what we came up with here is we started with a jasmine rice that we make in the back. We have a proprietary blend of seasoning. We take bell pepper, we take scallions, we cook it off, we heat it up, put it on the bed, and then we're gonna take an 8-ounce fresh cut piece of Chilean salmon. Okay. So it comes in, we cut it fresh, and then we're gonna put it in a marinade for about 4 hours. It's gonna be a soy marinade with some brown sugar, a little bit of bourbon in there. It doesn't overpower the salmon. What we don't wanna do is take away the flavor of the salmon. So we're gonna grill that to about a great medium, and then we're gonna baste it before we put it on top of the rice with a mango bourbon glaze. And we take mango chunks, bourbon, and a honey, and a little bit of Thai chili. We process it up, and then we just kind of coat that over top of it, and then we top it with sesame seeds.
It's not your average piece of salmon. Let's dive in. I got a little bit of that jasmine rice on the bottom, and let's give it a try. Wow.
Got a lot of flavor.
Flavor burst in your mouth. Perfectly cooked piece of salmon, and actually, the rice has a nice texture to it to bring that out. Oh, I love it. Fantastic.
This is what we call a heart attack burger. We kicked around a couple names, but we came up with this because, well, we'll let that be. But so it's an 8-ounce hand patty burger. We top it with every cheese that we carry, which is going to be American cheddar, Swiss, provolone, and pepper jack. And then we're going to take 2 strips of bacon. We're going to take 8 ounces of shaved prime rib, cook that off, lay it on top of it, and then coat it with that Parmesan cheese you can see. And then we'll take fresh onion straws, and then we're going to drizzle it with our house barbecue sauce to give it a little bit of tang, and then we'll serve it on Texas toast.
Oh, baby. I'm ready. I'm just a little nervous. Honestly, I'm really hungry. I'm feeling sassy. So they do provide the steak knife to cut this in half. My sassiness is telling me that I should probably just pick this up. These are catcher's mitt-sized hands as it is. Let's get in here and let's dig into this burger the real way. Oh my. I know why you call it the heart attack burger. We got a lot going on. With that being said, as I swallow this down my gullet, This burger is so delicious. I want to go run a race now. I feel like I could complete a marathon after this. This just gave me all the energy. Oh my goodness. I taste all the different flavors of cheese. That barbecue is very sweet. It's got a nice tang to it, brings out those salty notes in there. And I think the Texas toast, wow, not your normal bun. Not your normal bun, and it provides more flavor to this. That's just a beautiful burger. Perfectly cooked. We've got burger meat, prime rib, bacon, onion straws, cheese, barbecue on Texas toast with delicious hand-cut fries. I'm overly impressed. This is such a fantastic meal. So we know at Harry's Tap House today, ladies and gentlemen, we've got burgers that can make you scream and some really refined dining options as well, like the salmon dish. I don't know what I would order. I'm gonna be honest, probably the heart attack burger because that's, whew, I loved it. Thank you so much for having us today with Extol Eats, and trust me, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta get into Harry's Tap House because not only is this food delicious, but the atmosphere in Harry's, there's TVs with sports all around, a great cocktail and beer list, and then you're right on the Ohio River. So it checks all the boxes. Thank you so much for having us
My
today,
pleasure,
James. I
my
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
my pleasure. Thank you.
Since our humble beginnings in 1908 as New Washington State Bank, we have offered banking the way you want it. Now known as NWSB, we have branches in the communities of Henryville, Charlestown, Borden, Jeffersonville, Sellersburg, Scottsburg, River Ridge, New Albany, and coming in 2022, a state-of-the-art branch in downtown Jeffersonville. As a local bank, all decisions are made right here in Southern Indiana. Our customers enjoy the personal relationships, and we value opportunities to show community support throughout the region. At NWSB, we offer myriad services and modern technology, from online banking to mobile apps with check capture. And we are always here to serve you face-to-face with a smile. At NWSB, you'll find banking the way you want it.
Welcome to the 9-month labor of love that is my basement. Matt and I wanted created a space in this basement that was unique, but yet warm and friendly for all our friends to come and participate in parties and family functions. Some of the really cool aspects was like our floating staircase that's made out of full steel beams. We have a wine wall, so we really, when we took our trip to Napa, really liked, the wine crates, and we were thinking a way that we could incorporate them into our basement. So we disassembled all those wine crates and put them on the wall. We also created, a really nice family space where you could relax and watch TV with the fireplace. We added another bathroom with 2 baths, and one of the baths actually has a bourbon barrel sink with copper sink place, which is really awesome. We have a pool table, theater room, lots of different really cool aspects that we pulled into this basement just to kind of give it that warm feel, even with the stone that you see throughout the basement. So we're big movie buffs. So I really wanted to do it right. And my big thing when I go to the movies is the concession stand. So I was like, if we're gonna do a theater room, it's gotta have a concession stand. So we kind of went for like old Hollywood concession stand. So we even had a sign made that's above the concession stand where like one of the lights is out and then the other one is kind of flickering, like you're going into an old Hollywood studio. Obviously candy galore at the concession stand with your beverages. And then you walk into the theater room and you pick one of the 8 seats, and then we actually made like a bar in the back, so if people don't want to sit in one of those seats, they can actually sit in the back and enjoy their beverage as they watch the movie. We have some really cool aspects in the theater room. We have like the Academy Award reel, we have a movie reel, and they light up. So we were just kind of thinking, some different components that kind of made this stand out from all the other theater rooms that you usually see in houses. So in our basement, we have some really cool design elements, from the Muhammad Ali autographed gloves to some of the original art that's in our basement. We even have our doggies. So we had an artist in Thailand We sent him pictures, and he actually sent us back these really cool designs of our dogs. We're big animal lovers, so it was really cool to pull them into that element. And they're actually in the wine cellar. So we created an area in this basement where you could actually enjoy wine. And we kind of did that stone brick wall, so it kind of felt like you were walking into a wine cellar itself. When people come down into our basement, I just want it to be a memorable experience where they're like looking at all the creative detail. I mean, for instance, like when I put the wine wall together, it was like Tetris all over again, literally laying out each panel and then putting it in its own special place, which took me almost 2 weeks to do. But just like those really cool design elements that like is memorable to people as they leave. Our bar area was supposed to be just this little, bar area, and it turned into a full kitchen with an island in the middle of it. So, we like to host parties with family and friends, and it's just a great gathering place to be down in our basement. So the bedroom provided a perfect opportunity for guest space because we needed those, because typically when we have our parties, we have people from out of town and we'd like for them to have a place to be able to sleep. So it was really nice to be able to add another bedroom into the basement with a full bath. During March Madness, I'm down here on this couch watching UAK play basketball. And if they're out of the tournament, it's usually U of L or IU, but I'm a UAK fan, so I'm down here relaxing, watching March Madness. But my 4-year-old loves to come down here. It's like an experience for her. She's either playing on the pool table or she wants to go watch a movie. So there's a lot of, Peppa Pig and Disney movies that we're watching in the movie theater, because it's like an experience for her. And it's really been awesome during the pandemic where we couldn't necessarily go to the movies, where we've actually been able to come down here and act like we're going to the movies. The only thing that we may end up doing is when we did the wine cellar, we initially were going to do a glass wall to divide it, and then we got feedback from our friends that said, wouldn't do that, that's going to make it too enclosed. So we're actually talking to an artist that may be doing some metal work that would create dividing walls between that wine cellar area and the family room area. And then what's really cool about the family room area, even though we're in a basement, we did a coffered ceiling. So it actually really feels like you're still in a large area, even though you're in a basement with the coffered ceiling.